Hi everyone, my name is Olajesu Olanrewaju, a PhD student of Iowa State University, and I'll be talking about studying green boundary regions in polycrystalline tantalum using spherical nano-indentation. It's a sub-research of our NSF-DMREF research focused on grain interface functional design to create damage resistance in polycrystalline metallic materials. In this research, we understand from a qualitative standpoint that the structural features of grain boundaries and grain boundary regions are sites for damage nucleation in any material system. But in order to create advanced damage resistant materials, we must understand from a quantitative standpoint the role of grain boundaries and grain boundary regions in damage nucleation for any material system. For this reason, we selected tantalum because it predominantly nucleates damage along grain boundary regions. And with this in mind, our deformation technique that we selected for these studies is nano-indentation. And the reason for selecting nano-indentation is that as compared to other techniques, we can study the local deformation behavior to get single crystal response from grain boundaries and also the deformation response as we approach the grain boundary regions in our polycrystalline tantalum. In our polycrystalline tantalum, we selected 15 grain orientations after annealing the tantalum to get big grains and big grain boundary regions. And we use spherical nano-indentation technique. The spherical nano-indentation technique uses the load displacement curve in order to give us the information on the indentation modulus, the indentation yield stress, and the plastic behavior or the strain hardening behavior in our polycrystalline tantalum material. With this, we could obtain surface maps for all the 15 grain orientations that were selected. And from here, we can see that 001 is the lowest, as it ranges from 180 gigapascal to about 190 gigapascal, which is for the 111 orientation. A similar thing was seen in the indentation yield stress, which value ranges from 0.76 gigapascal to 814 gigapascal, which is for the 111 orientation. But when it comes to the indentation strength coefficient behavior or the strain hardening behavior, we could not see any trend as regarding what is being obtained from the 001 orientation to the 111 orientation. But this actually gives us an overall idea of what is happening in our polycrystalline tantalum. And using the indentation yield stress, we've established the reference parameter that shows us the single grain response that is obtained in our polycrystalline tantalum. Then moving on to the grain boundary region studies, since we've obtained the yield stress for all the grain orientations that are present in tantalum, we can easily study the misorientation angle as we go from one grain to another. So for this reason, we'll consider from our literature review material that talks about the void nucleation stress in tantalum, and then we can see that this is as a function of different regimes that are present in our material. So at regime 1, we selected a grain orientation, and in regime 2, we selected another grain boundary here. And as we can see from here, and we obtained the result, we did it as a function of strain hardening. The distance from the grain boundary as a function of the strain hardening that is noticed at that particular region. And then we discovered that we obtained a sharp drop as when we consider region 2, as we move from grain 3 to the grain boundary region. But then we saw a sharp rise as we move from grain 4 to the grain boundary. This is indicating that to grain 4, this grain boundary is actually acting as a dislocation obstacle, and in grain 3, it's acting as a dislocation sink. But when we consider regime 1, we could not establish any significant trend. So in conclusion, and see that there's a significant correlation that exists between our indentation modulus and our indentation yield stress. And in regime 1, we could not see we could only see a minimal influence of the grain boundary on the indentation strain hardening as you approach the grain boundary. But in regime 2, we can see that it either acts as a dislocation sink or dislocation obstacle. And this result would actually be good for crystal plasticity simulation to actually dig into the void nucleation stress strength. And our future task is to actually do this with other techniques such as micropolar compression and microtensile experiments. Thank you.